Hey guys, today I'm going to be reviewing the ITV miniseries of Victoria. So this show consists of 8 1-hour 40-minute episodes. This is the time frame with the inclusion of adverts. And this is about the life of a young Queen Victoria, of course becoming Queen, in 1836 upon the death of her uncle who was king. I actually had this in my recordings for ages and I was just so excited to just binge watch it all back to back with like no breaks unless I personally wanted the breaks. So it was really exciting to finally get through and watch all of those. Really wanted to kind of just binge watch it rather than waiting for each episode to come out, particularly because I wanted to see the performance of some of the lead characters and because I kept seeing it on Gogglebox and that was really annoying. Jenna Coleman plays Victoria and obviously she is from Emmerdale and Doctor Who. She's probably more famously known for being in Doctor Who, which are both very different genres to this, which is interesting. So I wanted to see how she was going to present her acting skills in something quite different than I've ever seen her in before. I also wanted to see how Rufus Sewell did playing the Prime Minister, Lord Melbourne, and I was most excited to see his performance because I saw him in another historical show called The Man in the High Castle, which is an Amazon Prime exclusive I believe, and I thought he was absolutely phenomenal in that. There were a lot of other recognisable faces, so it was really interesting to see how a Victorian role would influence their acting skills and how they would perform in something quite different to what I'd seen them in before. For the whole duration of this miniseries, I honestly thought that the acting was amazing, absolutely top notch. Obviously Jenna Coleman played a fantastic Victoria and Rufus Sewell did not disappoint in his character, as I had assumed from just seeing his performance in The Man in the High Castle. I probably had exceedingly high expectations for him, but I'm really glad that he delivered. I absolutely detested Sir John, which was the advisor to Victoria and her mum, the Duchess. Pretty much as soon as he spoke, I was like, who is this guy and why does he bother me so? But honestly, the actor played him so well. He was just one of those characters you wanted to hate and I think he did a really good job kind of expressing that, you know. Initially I did feel some suspicion towards the governess turned baroness. I think honestly she just had a devious and distrustful way about her, the way she went about things and the way she talked to people. But I think everything she did was in love for Victoria, but she just didn't go about it in the way she kind of thought she was better than everyone else because of her rise to a higher kind of role in the house. So yeah, I don't think that gave her the right to be mean though, but I guess she was just doing it out of love, or so she thought. Prince Albert was rather elusive at first I thought, but I soon warmed to him and I think he made a really great influence over the whole story. I loved the relationships that he made, and yeah, even though he was a little bit cold at first, and I think that was just his character. He is kind of an awkward character and I definitely ended up liking him by the end of the show at least. I honestly didn't realise there'd be such a heavy focus on the household of Victoria, so the staff of the castle, the people that look after the Queen and all that sort of stuff, but it was really interesting and added to its breathtaking ending with its kind of tang of bittersweet feeling, because sadly not everybody had a happy ending. So in terms of the story, honestly I don't know too much about the Victorian era. I feel like the plot was delivered really well, whether accurate or not I'm not sure. It was really interesting seeing the development of trust I had for the staff of the household and the distrust that they had for each other in some instances, and how they kind of maybe worked it out, or sometimes it just blossomed into something worse. And it was really interesting seeing the dynamics between people in different kind of stations and different roles of the castle. And clearly they wasn't all happy with the change in leadership and beginning of a new era. Back to Victoria again quickly. I found that she fixated on a particular man kind of obsessively, and even though it was clear that those feelings were mutual to some degree, I think Victoria kind of went about it in a rather pushy, almost stalkerish way. A little bit creepy on her behalf, but you know, she acted it very well. The characters, I just think the majority of them were really fleshed out, even characters you wasn't expecting to see a lot from. I felt utterly absorbed by their story arcs and the development of them. I was so immersed in their lives I just didn't want it to end. I absolutely loved the intro. Something I found a little bit haunting about it. It kind of gave me shivers and the chills a little bit, and I think it might be just the slow fade in and out of Victoria as she grows into her, I guess, queendom, and the kind of melancholy choir music accompanied to it, like the singing of it. It was just a little bit, set me on edge a little bit, but I thought it was really beautiful. I also found that there are quite a few magical scenes that made my heart go all fluttery. For example, in the first episode before the first break, Victoria says that she wants to be known as Queen Victoria as opposed to her real first name, and then she goes out to the balcony and shows herself to her people. I just thought that that was like such an amazing experience, such a straightaway show of power, and this is how I want to be represented, this is what I want for my new world, I guess, this is how I want to move forward. And I thought it was amazing. It made my heart go, oh, I don't even know. There are more, of course, but I don't want to go into like specifics in later episodes in fear of spoiling something, so I'll just stop there. I also felt like some of the depths and hues of the series in terms of like the colour and where things were set and filmed really set the tone of Victorian England and really helped create that immersive experience. Overall, I just found this beautifully produced, and I'm going to make it my goal to watch more miniseries that come out on ITV. I watched Brief Encounters, which was, I think it came out, I don't know, middle of 2016 I think, and yeah, that was amazing. So I need to keep an eye out and watch some more of the stuff that comes on there, because when it comes to like miniseries and kind of periodic drama pieces, I'm usually on BBC One, but you know, ITV are really kind of up in their game. So I think that if you really enjoy the Victorian era, or you just like periodic pieces in general, as some of you may already know that I do due to the type of reviews that I do, then I think you will also fall in love with this show. I can't wait for series 2 to come out in 2017 at some point, and overall I give it a 5 out of 5 stars. And it's not too long, like it breaks it up because they're kind of long episodes in a short amount of time, if that makes sense. So it's a nice kind of consistency and a nice flow. So I definitely recommend this, and even if you're not usually into this sort of stuff, definitely give it a go, because I think it will hook you, I reckon, at least some of you. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you next time. Bye.